I'm live on my YouTube right now. I'm live on my YouTube right now, and I'm live. Hi, YouTube, and I'm live here on Facebook. So, pretty much, okay, what I want to say right now, what I want to say is, as well as to Governor Cuomo, Governor Bill Blasio, because I heard a lot of from Governor Cuomo since I've been back and forth from New York to Boston. I've heard a lot. Okay, what I've heard is that, okay, what I've noticed, okay, being at these rallies in New York, by New York City Hall, there was a rally, about 300 young people there. Okay, Black rallies, Black Lives Movement. Now, whatever kind of rally you're going to, whether it's a young people rally, whether it's a pro-Trump, a pro Biden, Joe Biden, whether it's a pro-life, pro-choice, whatever you're going to, whatever you are going to, these rallies, these thousands and thousands of people rallies in these convention halls, inside, outside, these people are hungry. These people are hungry. They're hungry for information. They're hungry for energy. They want to make a change. They want to make a difference. They want to make a change in their community. They want to make a change. So you have to bring something in order to feed these people. They're hungry. You got to feed them. So whatever it is, you got to print out U.S. Constitution. What are your rights? These people, they do not know their rights. You'd be surprised how many Americans should support, okay, Black Lives Rally movement. Okay, you'd be surprised. Sit up. You'd be surprised how many people support the Black Lives Rally movement, support are against police brutality, and they themselves are lawyers and doctors, and they do not even know their rights. They do not even know the first 10 rights of the U.S. Constitution. So you're going to burn down and torture and take down a United States monument of the man who wrote the United States Constitution, whether he was a slave owner or not. But this man in those times, okay, and you have to understand the times that people were living in. Right now, you in the millennial, you're living in a time where people are able to walk down the street freely. That we are able to walk down on whatever side of the street we choose. That we are able to go in the same door as a white person. I'm able to walk through the same front door as a white person walks through. I'm able to eat at the same table in a restaurant as a white person does. I'm able to go to the restroom, the same restrooms, the same bathroom facility as a white person does. Okay, so are you going to say, are you going to take away the bathrooms just because you're going to take away the bathrooms just because in those times people segregated us against bathrooms, so therefore we're going to take away all the bathrooms? No, you can't do that. You can't say, oh, we're going to destroy all the bathrooms just because it was segregated during that time. You can, and at the same time, you can't take away the whites only signs either. Okay, you can't take away the whites only signs either, because those were there to serve as a reminder of us of what we went through. Now you have a man like a United States president, and Abraham Lincoln, that wrote the United States Constitution, that wrote the freedoms that were existing in the early 1700s of the United States history, and we're trying to burn down their monuments. Who are we? And I see all these pictures of all these white kids, white people that are being arrested. I'm like, is this really Black Lives Matter? No, it's not. Who is really burning down these monuments? Do these people really know what's going on? And so all these young people, all these older people, white, Black, Mexican, Asian, they're hungry. They're hungry for information. They're hungry for energy. You have to know your rights. Know it. United States Constitution, know it. Here on my YouTube, know your rights, know your liberty. You're going to be a lawyer, and you're going to bring your services to a rally of over 10,000 people. Okay? You're going to bring your services to a rally of over 10,000 people. Bring the United States copies of the United States Constitution to these rallies, so people will have information. Make it easy and plain for them to see. Okay, you know what? We're fighting against police brutality. Yes, we're fighting against police brutality, but we don't even know what police brutality is. Oh, yes, we're going to defund the police. Really? What would that mean? What is that? What's the definition of defunding? What is the definition of defunding anything? People, they're just saying it, but they really don't know. They really don't know what they mean. They really don't mean what they're saying. They don't understand. And I'm like, oh, it's just Black Lives Matter. Oh, it's nothing. It's just a whole bunch of kids that are causing problems. No, it's not nothing for nothing. They have a stronger arm and a stronger control more now than 5 years ago than they had ever before. And right now, the United States is going through a presidential election in only 3 months. Okay, 3 months. So what are we going to do if we have the same man in office for the next 4 years, and now the KKK is running freely in Boston and is running freely in New York and Philadelphia and Detroit, as cities of predominantly Black people, and you have Confederate flags waving high and fly? Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't know about this. What is going on? What is going on? How did this happen? We didn't know anything about it. Well, obviously, you pass it by. You can't just pass by things, okay? Things keep happening and happening and happening and happening and happening for a reason. And yes, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it's just way out of control. It's going to go way out of control, which is what's going on right now. All these cities, especially like New York and Upper East Side and Manhattan. You imagine how many businesses in New York, prime $1 million real estate in Times Square, prime $1 million real estate in Manhattan, New York, as well as in Queens and Brooklyn, prime real estate in the meatpacking district in Times Square and Brooklyn and Queens and Manhattan, prime real estate. $1 million properties are boarded up and closed down in New York City. So what does that mean? What is that a symbol of? And like I keep telling my young people at these rallies 2 days ago in New York, if you see it, you own it. Not just like, oh, if you break it, you buy it. No, it's not just about you break it, you buy it. No, it's about if you see it, you own it. Literally. It's nothing funny about it. It is the truth, honest God, the truth. Okay. There's so many real estate property. There's so much investment. People are hungry. So many businesses are closing down. Why? Well, it's the economy as well as the changing times. Okay, as well as the changing times. The times are changing. The millennials changing. A lot of older people are getting old and selling off their businesses. All these family-owned businesses are not available because of the changing times. So you have that as well as the economy, and then you have these protest movements that are going on. This whatever you call it, wannabe socialism, but it's not. It's really undercover KKK. Okay, because the true goal of socialism is for the community to come together and for people, especially in socialism, people that use the government, but the government supports people building their own businesses. That's what real socialism is about. It's about community. It's about a socialist involvement. It's about people coming together, building their own building their own profits. Okay, and then the government takes a percentage of that. The government helps support people supporting themselves. That's what real socialism is about, as well as real democracy. Real democracy is about governments. Is a real democracy is about the government of the people, and the people control the government. It's not about a movement. It's not about a revolution controlling the government. It's about for the people, by the people. The vote of the people controls the movement of the government. Okay. And politics is all about people. At the same time, though, politics is about money. Okay. So you have money and then you also have people. And that's what makes politics. Politics is about money and politics is about people. And one way or the other, you got Trump and you got Biden, and they can't have one without the other. And neither can Cuomo, and neither can Baker, Governor Baker, and neither can J.B. Pritzker, or the governor of Texas, Bill Abbott. I think it's Greg Abbott. You can't have one without the other. Obama can have one without the other. Trump can have one without. Bush can have one without it. Clinton can have. You can't have politics without money and without people. You can't have both. You can have all the money you want in politics, but without the people, you're nothing. Okay, without the support of the people, you are nothing. Okay, and believe you me, these people are burning down buildings, not monuments. At first it was buildings, now it's monuments. So you see where this is going? You see where this is going? First it's buildings, now it's monuments. Then what's next? Then what's next? Thank you. Okay, it always leads to something. First it was burning down buildings. Okay, first it was burning down buildings. Okay, then it was burning down. Now it's burning down monuments. And then what's going to be next? This right here. This is next. You can't just have all that energy and all that movement without nothing, okay? And if you think it's called a socialist revolution, you are completely oblivious. You are completely oblivious. Completely oblivious. Okay. I should have went. Oh my god! I went to the bookstore today. I should have said I'm gonna buy all the books for $100. I don't care what they look at. I'm gonna take all your books and pass them out at the rallies. That's what I should do tomorrow. Okay. I should go to the bookstore. I should be like, okay, how much for that whole stack of books? How much for 10 boxes of books? Because these young people are hungry. They're not getting all this energy. They're sitting down, they're listening, they're marching for miles and miles and miles. They're hungry, they're excited, they hate police, defund the police. We hate the police, we hate the police. No, honey, you got to get it right. You got to get it in the right order. Okay? They're hungry for this, they're hungry for information. Okay, they're hungry for to know their rights. Okay? And yeah, I do need a job. Okay. So people are hungry for a reason. Okay. They are hungry. They're not hungry for control. Usually it's somebody or some movement or some organization wants control of somebody or some entity or some incorporation. They want control of the information that person has. Okay, it's not really control of the behavior. Usually, if somebody is put in prison or somebody is put in jail, it's usually because of the information they know or what they're trying to share to their community. Okay, and that is why. Okay, President of Africa Nelson Mandela was jailed because of what the rights he was fighting for the people of South Africa, and because of the freedom and the movement and the energy that he had that he could have took with him to free the people of South Africa from apartheid. And he was jailed for 20, 30 years just for that information, the freedom of information. And so was Dr. King in Birmingham. He was jailed. And so was Malcolm X. He was jailed. But if these people are jailed, okay, understand, they do something with that energy. They write about it. They're writing letters, they're writing books. Dr. Martin Luther King's book, A Letter in Birmingham Jail. He wrote a book about it. He wrote letters to the community. He wasn't just in jail for no reason at all. He was writing, he was continually talking with his community. Okay? Continuing, and Malcolm X, the same thing. I think he wrote the autobiography of Malcolm X either in the 80s or 70s. I'm not really sure about that. Okay, so the people that are part of this, okay, they're a part of this movement for a reason. They're in jail. Once they're in jail, their mugshot is taken or whatever. At the same time, they're building energy for themselves, and they could continually have a communication with the community that they're serving. We have reporters come in and talk to them, so they have a communication with reporters. They have newspaper news columnists, writers come in and talk to them and have a communication with newspaper article people. Okay, and Dr. King and JFK, Bobby Kennedy, a lot of as well as white politicians have been jailed too, and they have had the same thing. They use that energy in jail for a reason. They're not just jail for nothing at all. They're using that energy for a reason. For a reason. And for a purpose. It's not just jailed because of a protest, it's jailed for a reason. And they believe in that, and they have the evidence to back it up. They have that evidence to back it up. To back it up. I can back up what I'm talking about. I can back it up. I can back it up. Oh, yes, I can. I'm not just wasting a picture. Oh, I got arrested in Boston. Oh, I got arrested in LA. Oh, I got arrested in Phoenix. Honey, you did. What does that mean? What does that mean? What are you trying to tell the community? What does that mean that if you got arrested? What does that mean? That means you're a nuisance to the community. You're a nuisance to society because you didn't do anything with that time. You didn't do anything with it. You didn't do anything with that time. You didn't do anything with that energy. What is this coming out? Oh my God. You didn't do anything with it. Hi, Jason. Hi, William. Hi, Jonas. How you doing? So again, these young people are hungry for a reason. Okay, these young people are hungry for information, and at the same time, if you have a crowd of 1,000 people, 2,000 people, best believe you're going to have a criminal ring come in betwixt that crowd. Okay, and you can all you need is a group of about 3 to 5 people in the midst of a crowd of about 5,000, and all you need is a group of about 3 to 5 people who know the whole surroundings of the complete neighborhood and know where that crowd is going, where that protest is going, where it started and where it ends, to come and disperse and to come and have their motives. The crowd, the movement has a motive, and this gang has a motive to come and completely wipe out the whole organization by just a group of 3 to 5 people. And they don't have to be white. They don't have to be black. All they have to be is organized. And it is nothing new. It is so old. All you need is an organized group of about 3 to 5 people to come in a crowd, not even 3 to 5 people. All you need is good, maybe one person or two persons by themselves to come into a crowd of about 5,000 people, and you can literally have everybody in that crowd shot by police just because of a group of 3 to 5 people. And that group will come into that crowd, they will serve their purpose, and they will leave, and not anybody will know about it. But all you will see is a tragedy that happened in that city. And all those young kids got shot just because of a criminal ring activity of 3 to 5 people that came into the crowd, did their business, and left, and got all those young people shot and killed. They come into the crowd, they do their business, and they leave. It's so easy. It's really quick. And the whole crowd is there for like 3 to 5 hours, 7 hours during a protest. They come, they march for 2 hours, and then they hang around and chill, go to local restaurants of the community, laugh, talk, have drinks, go to each other's houses, but they're always around in the neighborhood block. And you have a organized group of about 3 to 5 people. They come in, they go through all the public utility poles, they break all the wiring out of the public utility poles. They come into the monuments. They come into the buildings, the government buildings. They break open the doors of the government buildings. They steal, they loot, not from businesses, from government buildings. They steal priceless monuments, priceless documents, and they use that, okay, as leverage for what kind of policies they're trying to put up for the government. So we have this important document of the government, and we will not release this document to you. We will not release this person to you until you give us what we want. And so they have the whole organization that they were a part of, okay. They have the whole organization under wraps because of what this organized group of criminal activity people have. So the whole organization is under their knees and hands, bending on their knees and hands, just because of a criminal activity of 3 to 5 people. So these 3 to 5 people literally may obtain about millions and millions of dollars per rally. of young kids that come to the city and try to protest against police brutality. And all you need is a group of people to come to the city, break down all the public facilities, all the public utilities, the electric, the lights, the gas. You'd be surprised how much access these people can have. They go into the gas lines. They cut all the wiring off of the lights, and then they fix it. They fix it back. Oh, nothing's wrong with the street light. Yes, honey, there's something wrong with the street light. Open the box. Open the box. The wires have been fixed. Oh, honey, you know what you're talking about. Yes, please open that electric box. The wires have been fixed. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes, please open that utility box. The wires have been fixed. Somebody has fixed those wires. They have snapped the wires off and fixed it and wired it back to make it look like nobody will ever know that they were there. And they only did it in 5 minutes. At the same time, they could put something in there, and all they need is a snap of a button. They can bomb the whole city. Those wires have been fixed in those utility boxes. Very strong. And the boxes, those transponder boxes, the doors have been busted open, and you can literally swing, and you see the doors of those transponder boxes are literally bent open like this. They're bent open, like they've been broken into, and the city doesn't give a damn. All they do is just paint new paint over the transponder boxes. All you need to do is open the door, and you can see all the wires and all the wiring and the plates, the chip plates have been busted into and moved and shoveled around the whole entire box. And when it rains, it can cause electrical activity on these transponder boxes because of the holes that have been exposed. Okay, and you can have a transponder box explode because of the rain and because of the busted wires. But who am I to say? Anyway, so you have a gang of activity of about 3 to 5 people come into these crowds, come into these rallies. If it's a Black Lives Matter rally, or if it's a Trump rally, or if it's a pro-life rally, or if it's a pro-choice rally, whatever kind of public exposure that these have, especially with COVID right now, because the government is on a phase. Every single government in every single state in the United States of America is on a different phase. They're trying to slowly expose the public back to normal activity. Okay. But again, understand, all you need is a group of 3 to 5 people. Here's 2 people. Okay. I need one more pen. So I'm trying to make this real to you guys. Okay. All you need is just 3 people with a plan. And you have a group of over 5,000 young kids. And all you need is 3 people with a plan. And they can come into that group of 5,000 kids and have all those kids shot by police. China has already heard President Trump say that he's ready to end. You call it Democrat, you call it conservative, you call it police, you can call it we're for police, we're against police, whatever it is. But you have to be real careful when you do. Like people that I work with, pretty much they have all left. So I have to really do background checks on people who are continually to have work for me. Okay. Because it's evil. It is evil what I'm going through right now. It is really evil. And especially when I was in New York 2 days ago on Monday and Tuesday, I went to a Backlines Rally, and there was a group about 200, 350, 500 young people behind New York City Hall in a small enclosed area. And when they left, and when I went through City Hall and some of those government buildings behind City Hall, I noticed a couple of the 12-foot tall doors were open and exposed. So literally, I had to go behind New York City Hall on Broadway Avenue okay, off of Broadway Avenue in New York, behind New York City Hall, the big gray buildings. I had to literally check each and every single door that all those young people were around. And I had literally make sure the door was open and make sure that it was closed. And I found one or two doors that were open. And those young kids were only there for about 30 minutes, maybe an hour, tops. So again, please understand, whatever kind of rally, whatever kind of public atmosphere is, wherever you are, please confirm. Like I've been at plenty of events where the events have been canceled, and again, I showed up and nobody was there, or I showed up and I was late, or whatever it is. Okay, whatever it is. Again, please be careful and take care of yourself. Make sure you know who's who and who's what. And people may have the same excuse over and over and over again. Oh, I was in a different city. Oh, I get arrested. There's nothing wrong with being arrested. There's nothing wrong with being arrested. Everybody gets arrested. Everybody gets arrested. No, honey. No, honey. There is an issue with that. Everybody's a prostitute. Everybody gets arrested. No, honey. No, honey. There is an issue with that. That is an issue. You don't just get arrested for no reason at all. Dr. King did not get arrested for no reason at all. Usually, in those times, if you were arrested during the 1960s and the 1970s, it was usually to protect your life.
Yeah, I think this is something that should worry us all. Continue.
It was usually to protect your life. There was more public fear, okay, a fear for his own public safety, or there was more protection inside the jailhouse than there was outside in the regular public. Okay.
But then pulling out at the last minute, I think they're probably very happy with that decision.
So if somebody like Dr. King, he's protesting, he's doing all these movements, and there's so much hostility going around, and it's usually his own people, Dr. King's own community killed him. Malcolm X was killed by a black man, a black sister. Dr. King was killed by the government, or he was killed by a black woman. Okay? By his own, he was shot by a black woman. Malcolm X was physically shot by black men. Okay? So there's usually more protection inside the jail than there is outside of the jail in the public. It's old. It's old. It's old. It's old. I'm not trying to advise everybody to go to jail. No, that's not what I'm trying to advise. But at the same time, there is law and order for a reason. Okay, understand there's law and order for a reason. And I hope to get my claims. Yes, this is a queen battle. Okay. Okay, there is law and order for a reason. For a reason. For a reason. There is law and order for a reason. Okay. So you have all these young people coming to these rallies, thousands and thousands of young people, especially in Washington, D.C., especially in our nation's capital where D.C. is trying to get its statehood as a 51st state. And you have millions and millions and millions of people coming together for a nationwide global movement. It's not just a couple hundred people. It's not just 1,000 people. It's millions and millions and millions of people. And usually, right now, the Black Lives Movement has been in DC for almost 46 weeks, for almost 2 months now. Okay, there's something going on. If it's in our nation's capital in Washington, D.C., that means that it is fixed. And this movement has already been in motion. Whatever it is spread around the world. It is around the world. So it is in Washington, D.C. for a reason. You have the Million Man March. You have the Fathers March. You have the March on Washington during the 1960s and 1950s. If any kind of movement, if any kind of political, any kind of nationwide healthcare movement, whatever it is, if it is in Washington, D.C., it is established. And that movement is all around the world. It is all around the world. It's already there. They can't do nothing about it. They can't hide from it. It is literally all around the world. And when you have criminal activity going on in these groups of millions and millions of young people, and these young people are very, very oblivious. They don't know all they're talking about is police brutality, honey. No, they get snuck up and caught up in the criminal activities of these people. They get oblivious to it. They get marginalized by it. It's like, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah, I'm gonna break down the store too. No, honey, no, you're not. And Trump is serious, as well as Bush. When 9/11 happened, he was very serious too. They will use whatever force is necessary. They will use whatever force is necessary because it has been going on for too long. And right now in Washington D.C., with Senator Eleanor Holmes, especially Washington D.C. right now is going through a political movement itself, where it is trying to obtain independence from just being the nation's capital. It is trying to obtain its statehood. So D.C. is going through a political process as well as going through all the other kind of political rallies or whatever is going on. Usually, what happens in the city. Okay. So again, all you really need is a gang of 3 to 5 people. It doesn't have to be Crips or Bloods or whatever. It could be communists. It could be KKK. It could be white power. It could be black power. Really, all you need is a group of 3, of a gang of one person with another person with another person, and they could come into a crowd of 5,000, 10,000, and 3 people could come into a crowd of 1 million people, of 2 million people in our state's capital, and completely have everybody killed. And all you need is a gang, and the gang leader to continue to spread the word, spread the word. It's all about spreading the word, spreading the word, and to come into their city and to do this. Or you have the gang leader right here, and you have the 2 girls, boys, whatever, to come in and completely wipe out everybody that's involved. And when that usually happens, when a lot of people are killed, okay, and it's not publicly known of, or it is publicly noticed and publicly photographed, and you have over 100 people shot, 50 people shot, 100 people shot. What do you call that? What do you call it? You call it a war. You call it a civil war, or you call it whatever you want to call it. So right now I'm a nonprofit. I'm in the community. I'm involved. I have my medicine. I have drinking lots of water. Continually being noticed and being in the community and doing what I can for the community. At the same time, though, thank you, YouTube. Thank you for that one like. Thank you. At the same time, though, these young people, they are hungry. They are hungry for information. These young people are hungry. They are hungry. They are hungry. Hungry. These young people are hungry. They don't know their rights. They think they may know their rights, but a lot of these young people just freshly graduate out of high school, especially if there are minorities, especially if there are Mexican and Black and Cuban and Puerto Rican. A lot of these young people, especially minorities, do not know their rights. They think, oh, I know their rights because that's what somebody else told me. Oh, I know the First Amendment because that's what somebody else told me. No, it's not what somebody else told you, honey. You have to know the law for yourself. Okay, yeah, I hate police brutality, but what does the word of the law say? This word of the law has not changed. It's what is today. You can't change the law. You can't change it. No matter how many communist manifestos you have, you cannot change the law. These young people do not know their rights. They do not know their rights. They don't know. They do not know their rights. They don't know. And it is sad. It is very sad. Especially it's sad. Especially sad when you imagine all these young people at rallies and they do not know how to read. How to read and how to write. They look cute. They have on cute dresses and designer shoes and designer t-shirts. But they do not, if you give them a book, they do not know how to read and write it. As well as they don't know their rights. But again, that's another issue. So there's a lot of opportunity available, especially in the community, applying for jobs, being out there, being noticeable, being available. Okay. At the same time, though, okay, I keep myself informed. I keep myself read up. I keep myself studied up. At the same time, though, I also inform my community. I also inform my young people. Certain states with record numbers of new cases. I also let them know. Thank you, Governor Cuomo, and thank you, Governor Pritzker, for being an ear to me, for letting me know that I am not alone, especially Governor Cuomo, because I've heard a lot of good from him, especially JB Pritzker. Thank you for listening to me. I really do appreciate it. I'm glad that I am getting a lot of positive feedback from their staff and from their administration. Thank you to the staff of Governor Andrew Cuomo and to the staff of JB Pritzker. I really do appreciate it. I feel and I know that I'm getting a lot of positive feedback from their administration. I know it. Okay, so again, these people are hungry for the information. They are hungry for their rights, for the U.S. Constitution. These young people on Facebook and on YouTube, these young people are hungry. They don't know their rights. They can't even read this. They don't understand it. You're fighting for it. You're marching hours and hours and day by day. You're in a city of Washington, D.C., where you have access to your lawyers and congressmen, and you are going to let somebody run over you because you don't know the information that you're supposed to know, and you're going to let this one person run over you. You're going to let a group, a gang activity over 3 to 5 people completely get you shot and killed because you don't know the information that you're supposed to know. Come on now. Please, young people, my black people, my black sisters and brothers, my black kids, my black peeps, my Puerto Rican peeps, my Cuban peeps, my Dominican peeps, my Mexican peeps, my Korean, Chinese, Vietnamese friends, know your rights. Okay? Know your rights. And I'm a nonprofit. I put up a lot of stuff that is not a nonprofit. But again, all you really do need, and this is public safety issues. This is a lot when I'm talking about public safety. All you really need is a gang of literally one person. Here's the leader. You got one person who's the leader right here. Okay. You got one person who's the ringleader, and he has that one partner friend, and this one partner friend finds another partner friend, and they can literally have everybody in a group of 1,000 to 1,000,000 people shot and killed, and they can declare it as a revolution when in fact all it was is just a group, all it was is just this one person, and they can turn it into revolution when all it was is about criminal activity, mafia this, mafia that. The third eye, whatever. All you need is a group of 3 people and their ringleader. That's all you need. So when you continually see the same people in different cities and you keep seeing their mugshots again and again and again, and you keep seeing their mugshots again and again and again, and you continually to see their same mugshots for the same position, for the same crime, believe you me, that is not a coincidence. That is not a coincidence. And you have to be careful. when you come across these people at rallies, because you may like, did I see a mugshot on TV? Yeah, but there was nothing. There wasn't. I was just in this. Hey, it's normal. It's normal. No, honey, it is not normal. Did you serve your time? No. I ran away from that city. Well, serve your time. And when somebody says we will do whatever it is necessary, we will burn down cities, take that person seriously. Please take that person serious. Because usually they can back up what they're saying. And they're a danger to themselves as well as to the public. When someone says I can burn down a city and I can do whatever it is what I want to a city, believe you me, that person usually they're either bragging about it because it's already happened, or they're bragging about it because it's about to happen. So please be careful, guys. Okay? And you'd be surprised who is in black face at these rallies, at these events. Trump events, Trump rallies, Democratic rallies, conservative rallies, pro-life, pro-choice, Black Lives Matter, KKK rallies. You would be surprised how many people you see in blackface, in blackface. And all they need is a little bit of tanny lotion. And they go from white to black like that. You'd be surprised how many people are in blackface. And they can get away with it. People don't even know. Okay. All right. So anyway, I'm not being paranoid about it, but I'm actually talking the truth about it. Okay. I'm not being paranoid because it is truth. So these young people, yes, these young people are hungry for a reason. Okay. These young people are hungry. They want to know their rights. They want to know their rights. They want to know. They want to know. They want to know. These young people are hungry. Yes, they are hungry. Okay. These young people are hungry. They want the truth. They want to know the truth. And once you know the truth, it will set you the truth will set you free. If you know the truth shall set you free. So please be careful when somebody says, I will burn down every city if I have to, because usually if they're bragging about it, that usually means it has already happened or it is about to happen. So please take that person and what they say very, very seriously. Very, very seriously. Very serious. All right, so this is Laqueer. Again, I'm advocating for public safety. I'm advocating for public health. Please don't forget to know your status. Get tested. HIV test is about $20, $30, $40 test at any CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Target, Kmart, wherever you are. If you can't go to a clinic, buy one off of Amazon, buy one off the internet, and get yourself tested. Know your status. It is not an excuse just because I didn't go to a clinic, I didn't get a doctor's appointment. That is still not an excuse for you not to know your status. Know your status. Check for yourself. It's not for you, but for those around you who you love. Know your status. Saturday, June the 27th is National HIV Day. Yay! So Saturday, June the 27th, 2020 is National HIV Day. So know your status. Negative, positive, whatever it is, know it and do something about it. Do something about it. Okay? All right. And take care of those around you and those who you love. Okay? All right, I support the movement Black Lives Matter, but I support the actions going forward towards progress for our community. I do not support the way they're going about it, but I support the progress that is making in young people's. I support the young people's involvement in the political process. At the same time, though, I am getting very, very, very frustrated when I continue to see businesses and buildings and cities, global cities, close down because this is such an organized chaos. It is not a communist movement. It is not a movement towards socialism. It is an unorganized chaos. It is not socialism. It is not communism. It could be literally, it could be undercover KKK and people do not know about it. It could be undercover white power and people do not know about it. It could be undercover black power movements, but people do not know about it at all. So if these young people are hungry for a reason, these young people are hungry for a reason. They need to be informed. They need to be informed. So if these young people are hungry, feed them. Feed them. If these young people are hungry, feed them. Feed them. Give if they're hungry, they've been out all day, they've been running. Give some encouraging words to them. Read to them. Speak to them. Speak positive thoughts to them. Feed positive energy. Yes, I support young people. Yes, young people know your status. Yes, you are encouraged. Yes, you are loved. Continually to speak to these young people. Speak to them. Speak to them. Let them know you are not alone. Let these young people know you are not alone. Speak to these young people. Speak to them. They need the information. They need to know. They are hungry. They are not just hungry to go back to school, but they are hungry for something new, for something fresh. Speak to these young people and stop encouraging people to continue to put down people. Stop dissing people. Give action towards these words. Put something forward, okay? So yes, this person has this issue, but what are we going to do about it as a community? Yes, this person is on their medication. Yes, this person is schizophrenic. But what are we going to do to help put this in motion, to help improve the life of that person? Are we going to give them a scholarship to go back to school? Are we going to give them a car to be able to have transportation to where they need to go? Give them a car, give them a scholarship. Give them a hairstylist to help them get their hair done for free. Do you know what I'm saying? Give these people something. Stop downing them. Stop dissing these young people, especially me. Stop dissing these young people. Give them something fresh and give them something to learn, to build on. They're broke. Give them a job. Don't ask them to apply for a job. Give them a job. Oh, go and apply for a job. No, honey. Here's a job waiting for you. When can you start? That's how you help young people like myself. If a person has a mental illness, give them resources available. Oh, I see that you're going through a hard time. Really? You see that I'm going through a hard time? Okay, when can you come to my office and we can talk about a little bit more about what you're going through? When can you come to my office? When are you available so we can sit down and have a chat? Not, oh, you need a doctor. Oh, you need a lawyer. When are you available so I can talk, me and your lawyer can get together, we can have a discussion. You need a lawyer. You need a lawyer. No. When are you available? When can I talk to you? What time will you be available for me and this guy I know who or this lady I know who has services available for you? What time are you available? When are you available? Not what can I do for you or what can you do for me? When are you available so we can talk? What can we do for me? Oh, she's schizophrenic. Oh, she's bipolar. Really? Really? What time is she available so I can have somebody else talk to her about the same person? I know somebody who's been through that too. When is she available so I can have her sit down and have a discussion with that same person that went through what she went through? Oh, she's manic. Oh, she's this or that. Really? I know somebody who went through that same exact thing that she's going through and can help her pull through it. Let me get her to talk. Oh, that's not an issue. I've been through that before. Oh, she's mental. Oh, she's that. Really? I know somebody who can help her and help her put everything together that she needs. Really? Yeah, that's how it works. It's not to put somebody down, it's to give them what they need and you and her and them can lift each other up. It's all about community lift up, a community involvement, a community input. And that's what the civil rights era was all about. That is what the Black Panther Party was all about. That was what the Nation of Islam was originally about. When Malcolm X was and Minister Muhammad during the 1950s and the 1960s was all about community improvement and community building. And when you listen to the true words of Malcolm X, you can really understand what he was talking about. And what Malcolm X was talking about during the 1960s is still what applies today in our new millennium era, 2020. It still has not changed. Maybe Dr. King's words may have changed a little bit, may be outdated, but when you listen to Malcolm X and when you listen to President South Africa Nelson Mandela in the 1980s and 90s, what Nelson Mandela said in South Africa in the 1980s and 90s still applies today in the new millennial era. In New York City, in Boston, in DC, in LA, in Chicago, in Dallas, it still applies today. And it has not changed. All right, so this is Laqueer, yay! Another YouTube, another Facebook Live. It's so glad to actually have you guys come together. I've changed my office up a little bit. It is getting better. I'm protecting the walls because Regis is crazy, but I am doing what I can in order to get involved. So thank you guys for all your love and input. I really do appreciate it. I'm very, very, very happy to be here again in Boston. I'm going to New York back on Monday to get some things in motion to start open and looking at some properties in Boston, in New York, as well as to do what I can in order to survive and to make it in this economy. Because school is starting up real soon in August, and people do this every single day. So I am behind. People do this every single day. People do this every single day. Every single day. So I have to get into the motion of it. And remember, please remember. Please, I've been posting the pictures on my Twitter and my Instagram for a reason. All you need is a gang of 3 people involved. Okay, again, here's my Facebook and here's my YouTube. All you need is a ringleader right here, and either one person that's in the same motive and another person to come into a crowd of 1,000 or 1,000,000 people and could completely have the obliterate the whole entire crowd. And all you need is 3 people to come into the crowd for 5-20 minutes, do their business, do their job, and to leave and completely, like you can, completely have everybody shot. So please be careful. And yes, terrorism still exists today. You have to be very careful. Terrorism still exists today. It could be Muslim terrorists, it could be Black terrorists, it could be white hate group terrorists, but terrorism still exists today. So you have to call it. If somebody is going to say, I'm going to bomb the United States and I'm going to get away with it, call that person who they are. Call them what they are. You're a terrorist, and we will have you punished. If you are threatening the United States of America, call it what it is. Call it what it is. And don't try to back away with it. Call it what it is. You're a danger to welfare of public safety. You just threaten this. You just threaten the safety of the United States. You just threaten the safety of the United States. So therefore, we will have to define you as a terrorist. It's exciting. You call it excited whatever you want to. You can call it emotions, whatever to, but you just threaten the safety and the welfare of the United States. So call it what it is. It's terrorism. Call it what it is. The president of one of the leaders of the Black Lives Matter, who I have not seen on the Black Lives Matter website, but all of a sudden I see him today. He had just threatened the welfare and the safety of the United States public. And he has just declared on national media, we will bomb down any kind of buildings necessary. Call him what he is. He is a terrorist. And he will be punished for his terroristic activities. Call it what it is. And don't try to hide. Don't try to hide from it either. Call it what it is. All right, so this is Queen. My voice may be a little bit different because what I'm hearing right here, how I'm talking to you and how I'm hearing for myself is completely different. Okay, so what you the tone of my voice from what you're hearing from what I'm actually hearing from myself is completely different. But I hope to get the point across. Okay, whether it's the tone of my voice or whether it's my speech or whatever it is, I hope to get the point across. Okay, public safety is an issue. These young people at all these rallies, they are hungry. They are hungry. They are hungry. Hungry for information. These young people are hungry. And you know what? People, they don't want us to read. We don't want Black people to read. Well, get over it. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. All right. So I love being a part of the community. I love being activist for the community. I am a nonprofit, which means I get all my donations from the public. I'm not profiting off of anything personally. I may have a couple of donations. I may have a bank account here or there, whatever. But the mission of my organization, Battle First Aid Responder Services, is to help facilitate the public safety and welfare of the community as well as the welfare of government officials. That is a whole uh, policy, the whole initiative of my um, nonprofit organization here in Boston, which I've been doing this in Chicago, I've been doing this all over upstate New York, but I just have to get it published and funded. Okay, so next week I'll be in New York on Monday. I'll be in New York on Monday. On Monday, June the 29th. Okay, I'll be trying to get some things settled, looking at some properties, as well as going to the state board and trying to get established there in New York too, as well. So, all right, guys, thank you so much, YouTube, and thank you to my Facebook friends and family for listening to me tonight. Jason, William, Janos, Lucy, Julio, Roberta, Sam, as well as to my YouTube family. Thank you for the two people that watched today, as well as that one like. I really do appreciate you guys. Continue to keep me in your thoughts and prayers. My office is here in downtown Boston. I am available for HIV peer support services as well as basic first adult and pediatric first aid services for small functions as well as for larger events in general. So I love you guys. Please continue to keep me in your thoughts and prayers. Much love and appreciation. Bye.